When trying to decide on a fountain pen, beginners often have to weigh different factors against each other. Is it better to invest in a high-quality pen that's not within your budget, or settle for something more affordable but might not meet your expectations? It's a tough decision that most beginners face, and one that requires some careful consideration. This is why over 50% of people who try fountain pens for the first time feel intimidated by the process. I myself is still part of that 50%. But what if I told you that there is a pen out there that makes starting not just easy, but fun? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most beginner-friendly fountain pens on the market, the TWSBI ECO. Known for its reliability, affordability, and sleek design, this pen has earned its spot as a favorite among you fountain pen users. It's definitely one of mine and has been consistently on my top 5 list. What about you? Have you tried the TWSBI ECO? Or do you have another favorite beginner fountain pen? Let me know in the comments below. I worked really hard on this video, so please do hit that subscribe button when you get a chance. But without further ado, let's talk about why I love the TWSBI ECO. Starting your fountain pen journey can be super overwhelming, especially with so many options out there. But what if I told you most beginners make crucial mistakes when choosing their first pen? The TWSBI ECO fountain pen has earned quite a reputation, especially among beginner fountain pen enthusiasts. It's often recommended as a great starting point for those new to the world of fountain pens, and for good reason. Choosing a fountain pen can be a daunting task, especially for beginners. One of the biggest challenges is the cost. High-quality fountain pens can be quite expensive, and it's always hard to know if you're investing in something that will truly meet your needs. Because let me give you some brutally honest insight. Not all fountain pens are the same, which is pretty obvious, but also not all fountain pens within the same brand are also not created equal. There are several parts that makes up a fountain pen. If someone in that quality control line yawned even just for 3 seconds, that's all it takes to let one faulty nib go through the packaging, and you could be the lucky one to get that pen. But yeah, no one is perfect. Shit happens, but whatever. But I guess what I'm trying to say is high price does not always mean it's good. There's a lot of expensive fountain pens out there that is known for its bad quality right out of the box. I could name names, but I'm not gonna. You just have to Google that one. Another common obstacle is ease of use. Some fountain pens can be finicky that requires extra maintenance and care. And then there's writing experience itself. Beginners often struggle to find a pen that provides a smooth, consistent flow of ink. Because if you're coming from the world of ballpoints, gel pens, etc., this is almost never an issue. You shake that thing, bang it against the wall, and it will start working again. You cannot do that with a fountain pen, especially the banging part. Please do not do that no matter how frustrated you are. Many beginners also have to deal with an intimidation factor. There's a lot of jargon and technical terms thrown around the fountain pen community, and it can be overwhelming to navigate all the options and features. I can definitely speak for myself when I say I still struggle with the different terminologies. Thankfully, my friends are not into fountain pens that much, so I just fake it till I make it. And let's be honest, it's easy to get caught up in the aesthetics. Who wouldn't want a pen that looks beautiful and sleek, right? When I first started collecting fountain pens, I definitely went for the pretty ones. I mean, I still do, right? But at least now I'm a little bit more informed, right? On which ones to get and which ones not to get, despite of the aesthetic. Before I used to do anything that can be a conversation starter, that stands out, but I'm always disappointed in the end. And I'm not going to name names, but you know who you are. This is where the TWSBI ECO shines. Its lightweight but sturdy design makes it comfortable to hold even for long riding sessions. The round grip section provides a familiar and versatile feel, making it easy for beginners to adjust their grip naturally. However, One of the things that a fountain pen beginner has to know is when you write with a fountain pen, it is most certainly not like writing with a regular ballpoint. So there is a transition period. The main thing here is to relax your hands. You do not need to put any pressure on the pen at all. You basically just let gravity do its thing. The pen is basically working with you and not for you. Harsh truth right there. However, there are a few nibs out there, like the flex nibs, that you do need to put a little bit of pressure to make use of its potential, but that's a more for advanced fountain pen users, so we're not going to cover that here. The TWSBI ECO is a standout fountain pen for its affordability, smooth writing experience, and beginner-friendly design. It offers a budget-friendly option without compromising on quality. It's just amazing for writing, drawing, or journaling. Prices range from around $32 to $35 for Ecos with the regular steel nib, similar to this. And then around $50 for bronze or rose gold nibs. And then you get $50 or I think $65 to $80 for special nibs. Like this one, it's the Onyx. And then of course there's the TWSBI Diamond 580 that goes around $65 to $85, but we're going to focus more on the Ecos. But more on the Eco nibs, what is the difference between, let's use the rose gold, for example, versus the steel nib, right? The quick answer is there is none. It's purely aesthetic. It's not gold by any means. Let me open that up for you. So, I don't know if it registers on camera. So yeah, so this is the rose gold nib and this is the steel nib. There's really no difference. This is just, it's purely aesthetic. It's not gold. It's still steel with some gold, rose gold plating. So basically you're just paying for an upgraded aesthetic. That's really it. Same exact body, just different nibs. So it's really up to you. I think that's more for personal preference. I personally prefer rose gold. I don't mind the steel nibs clearly, but this is the only steel nib that I have right now. I gave some of my other steel nibs, but I kept some of my special nibs, and I think I'm planning to get more of the rose gold or the gold nibs. I think there's a black one, clear, and the white one. I think there's one kind of like a beige one. Designed with accessibility in mind, the TWSBI ECO is easy to use, clean, and maintain, making it an excellent choice for those just starting their fountain pen journey or anyone seeking a reliable everyday pen. When you purchase a TWSBI ECO, like this, it comes with a wrench right there and a small bottle of silicone grease. It also comes with excellent instructions on how to disassemble and reassemble the pen, and also how to clean them properly. I've only disassembled it once, and it is pretty simple. Reassembling, however, it was very nerve-wracking. But speaking of its assembly and the different parts, one of the standout features of the TWSBI ECO is its piston filling mechanism. So this one right here. Unlike cartridge pens, which restrict you to pre-filled ink options, and of course nothing wrong with that, the ECO allows you to explore the world of bottled inks. And this opens up endless possibilities for colors and creativity. Plus, its generous ink capacity means fewer refills and more uninterrupted writing time. So just to reiterate, you need a bottle of ink to use a TWSBI ECO. So essentially, yes, that is one of the downsides of to fountain pens. It does eventually run out of ink and needs refilling. For some, this might seem like a hassle, especially if you're switching inks, because you need to clean it first and flush out the old one. It's drama. But if I can just digress for a minute, for me, this is one of the aspects I love about fountain pens. That moment when you stop, pause, and take the time to refill your pen is surprisingly rewarding. It's a small meditative act that deepens your appreciation for the pen itself. Cleaning, on the other hand, is a whole different story. That will be a video in itself. Anyway, in those few minutes of you being fully present, engaging in a practice shared by a lot of great writers and artists from a time before smartphones, computers, or even typewriters, it's a beautiful existential moment connecting you with a slower, more deliberate way of creating. That's some deep shit right there, right? Sorry. But speaking of ink, the Eco pairs beautifully with all types of inks, giving beginners the freedom to experiment without fear of clogging or leaks, because that is one of the struggles with some fountain pen inks. Cleaning and flushing out old stubborn inks can be such a hassle. I'll be honest, I'm not an expert in inks, as there's a whole world of terminology and types that can feel just as overwhelming as choosing a pen. Inks can be wet or dry. Terms like sheening and shading are thrown around, and there are endless options with unique characteristics to explore. Sheening inks, for example, I believe this is a sheening ink. Oh no, this one is a sheening ink. Sheening, for example, reflects a different color when dry, while shading inks create stunning gradients with your writing. This still confuses me to this day, but maybe one day I'll make a video on different fountain pen inks, so let me know in the comments if you want to see that. What's amazing about the TWSBI ECO is its ability to handle them all. Whether you're using a wet ink that flows freely or a dry ink for more controlled writing, or even an ink with dazzling properties, the TWSBI ECO nib and feed designs ensure smooth and consistent performance. This pen doesn't limit you, it actually invites you to experiment with all kinds of inks, allowing you to discover what works best for your writing style. However, and this is my own personal opinion based on experience, while TWSBIs can take a lot of different inks, if you have a fine nib, I think this one's a fine nib, I would stay away from the inks with sheen and shading. If you have a medium nib, I believe this is a medium nib, I would test it first with a small amount for a couple of days and see how it goes. But if you have a broad or a stub nib, then I think you'll be fine. This is just my personal rule in all my pens. I have a lot of fine nib fountain pens, so in order for me to avoid the disassembling part for pen cleaning, I just err on the side of caution. That's all. I remember when I first used the TWSBI ECO, I had been struggling with pens that felt too delicate or too temperamental. Without naming names, I remember getting this mid-price fountain pen, a lot more expensive than the ECOs, of course. It was pretty, it has the right size, perfect weight, it has the gold nib that I love. But when I started using it, it was skipping, it was pooling. Some points it didn't even write. I mean, it was just all kinds of mess. I actually had to email the company and complain, which I've never done before. I was very surprised when they replied and offered to send me a replacement nib. To say that I was very impressed with the customer service is an understatement. Ever since then, I have not had any problems with the pen. However, I did stop buying from that brand. But with the Eco, going back to the Eco, it was smooth sailing from the first stroke and has been and continued to be very consistent. I did notice that if you stop using it for a long time, for maybe like a month, and I believe this is just common for all fountain pens, you do need to prime it again. You can do this in several ways. If you have a cartridge converter or piston filler, you just need to turn the knob enough to push the ink out, just a little bit, enough to wet the nib, just let it drip. Or you can swish the nib in water just to get rid of the dried up ink. It's fairly easy. But yeah, so that's my only advice on that. Just look at this. The ink flows consistently. The nib glides effortlessly across the paper. And I haven't used this pen in over a month. I actually can't remember the last time I used this one. Look at that. The writing experience is so enjoyable as it is reliable. It's so smooth. This one is a medium. Don't ask me about the ink. Can't remember the ink on this one. Like I said, it's been a while. But this is so smooth. And even the medium is not that bad. I don't like the medium because it's too big. Oh, it's very wet too. See, this is a wet ink, and see how it handles it? I love it. I love it. So, to wrap it up, the TWSBI ECO is a game changer for beginners and seasoned fountain pen enthusiasts alike. It combines affordability, ease of use, and a smooth writing experience with the versatility to handle a wide range of inks. Whether you're exploring fountain pens for the first time or looking for a dependable everyday writer, the ECO delivers on all fronts. Its thoughtful design and performance make it a perfect starting point for anyone curious about this timeless writing tool. So, what do you think about TWSBI ECO? Do you also swear by it? Or if you're new to fountain pens, would you try it? Or maybe if you don't agree with me and you have a favorite beginner pen in mind, I would love to hear all about it in the comments below. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more fountain pen and ink videos, stationery review, and all kinds of inspiration. See you next time. Bye.